Welcome to the Data Hall YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to focus on the summarize function of the tidyverse package. And what does summarize do is that it collapses the data. It takes the summary based on certain category or without any category. So what it does is it generates a summary of a data. So before we move on, we are going to load the tidyverse package. So we use library tidyverse, and then we are going to load a data set. And remember, for that we use data, and we are just going to load a preset data. That is those data set that come preloaded with R. So one of the such data set is diamonds. So we are going to load this data, and let me show you what it have. It have quite a lot of observations, and we have different carats of diamonds. They're cut, whether it is ideal, good, very good, or fair, its color, its clarity, and then we have different variables. But what I'm interested in is their price. So what we want to see is that for different categories of cut, or for different categories of carat, or for different categories of clarity, how does the price works? What is the average or the median price of different categories? So for that, we are going to use the summarize function from the tidyverse or the dplyr package. So we take the diamond dataset, and then we pipe that dataset into the summarize function. And how does summarize function works is that we give it the name of the new variable that would be generated, or rather the only variable that would be generated, and that should be equal to what? So we are going to take the mean of the price variable. So if I execute that, and this whole process would be saved in this, the result of this process would be saved in this A1 data frame. We can see that we just have one observation, which is average price, because this is the name that we gave it to. And what it tells us, the average price in our data set is 3,932. But it isn't quite meaningful, but we would come back to that later on. But remember, we can either use the summarize with a Z or summarize with an S. That works perfectly fine. The another way of writing, if you do not want to pipe this data set into the summarize function, the other way of writing is that we write the command name, and then the first argument would be the name of the data set that we are going to use. After the comma, we would give it a name that would be assigned to this variable that would be generated, and this variable would be equal to, let's say, the median of the price. We can use any other statistic, but we are going to use median in this case. So again, we have just one observation, and that is the median price. So again, this isn't quite meaningful. A more meaningful would have been that we generate a mean or median for different categories of cut, right? So whether a cut is fair, good, or very good, and then we want their average prices. So for that, we are going to look into the group by function. And what group by is, it groups the data based on certain variable, right? So so that grouping won't be apparent to us, to our eye, to our human eye, but that would internally the data would be grouped, right? So what we do is we take the diamond data set, and then we pipe that into this group by function. And what it does is that it would group the data based on the cut. This is one of the variable that we have in our data set. And then what we do is we summarize, that is, we generate a variable called average cut price, and that would be equal to the mean of the price variable. So, and then we ungroup the data. But why do we need to ungroup that? We would cover that in a while. Let's perform this, and we have saved that into A2, and we can see that for each category we have different prices. Obviously, the premium is the highest paid, right? So why do we need to ungroup the data. And the reason is that if we do not ungroup the data, R would remember the grouping till we have ungrouped it, right? To demonstrate this idea, let's take the diamond dataset and just group it, right? If we take the diamond, group it, and then save whatever the result we get into diamond dataset back, there won't be any apparent changes, but internally R would remember that this data, this data frame, which is diamonds, is grouped by cut. So now let's assume that we forgot that we have grouped this data based on cut, and we performed certain other functions. Let's say we took the diamond data and summarized to the average price. So remember, this is the same line that we have used over here, and if you remember, we just got a single observation when we used this line, right? We took the mean, we just got a single observation. So shouldn't this line, this same command should give us the same result? But you would be amazed to see that instead of a single observation, we get 5 different observations, one for each category of cut. And why is that so? Although we haven't used group by function, the reason is that we haven't ungrouped the data. So if we had grouped this data, and let's just say before using this summarize command, we had ungrouped this data, then look at this A1 data frame, then we should get a single observation as we had previously. So that's why ungrouping is an important aspect of when you group the data. Do remember to ungroup it in the same chunk of the code. We can do multiple groupings, and that is we can use multiple variables to group the data. So let's take diamond data, and then we group by cut and clarity, and we generate the mean of the price. Now, what should this look like? Just imagine how this would look like, right? And then let me show it to you that what we have is that for each category of fair, we have a subcategory of clarity, and for each of these subcategories, we have their average price. So this isn't the average price just for the fair, but within fair, it is the average price for I1 clarity of the diamonds. So we can also do based on certain values. So what if we take the diamond dataset and group it by cut, and if carat is greater than 30, and we calculate its mean value. So what it would do is it would see if the carat is greater than 0.3. If it is, and the cut is fair, or whatever the category it is, it would calculate the average price for both, whether the cut is greater than or less than 0.3. We can also calculate multiple statistics. That is, instead of calculating just one statistics, we can have multiple statistics. So in this case, we are going to use diamond data, group by clarity, and then we are going to summarize, and we are going to calculate median of price and maximum price. So that would give us 2 variables. So this would be A3, that is median price and maximum price for each clarity category. Okay, so we do not need like this chunk of code. So we can count number of observations. So let's say we take the diamond data set group by cut, and now we want to calculate the total number of observations. For that, we would use n, parenthesis open and close without any parameters, or we can calculate the distinct number of carats that we have for each category of cut. So if we execute this, we get A4, and what it says is that there are a total of 1,610 diamonds that have a fair cut, and there are 185 distinct carrots within this category of cut. We have other functions related to summarize. So we have summarize all, and what it would do is we take diamond data set and then we group by cut and summarize all of the variables. So we would generate maximum value for all of the variables, not just a single price variable, but rather all of the variables. So that would generate the maximum price for all of the variables. So in previous codes, we were just using the generating the median or maximum price, mean price. But in this case, we are doing that for all the variables. We can also generate multiple statistics, and using the same summarize all, we use functions, and within functions, we give the name of the statistics that we want, and that would generate, maximum for all the variables, and then minimum for all the variables. And then we would have mean for all the variables. So because I have asked for maximum, minimum, and means, and there are other functions that we have with summarize, and you can play with them. We have summarize at, we have summarize each, summarize if, etc. I would recommend you play with these functions. So thanks for watching this video. Do subscribe and do hit the bell icon.